Get your reactions ready. The live portion of the show will begin in just a moment.
Rizzo hits this one well. That sends Durant all the way back into the corner. Yeah! Oh, and he claims he caught.
It is still Sunday, June 18th, and it is Game 2 of the doubleheader between the Yankees and the Red Sox. And the Yankees were hoping that the second verse wouldn't be the same as the first. My recap, your reactions, coming up next. This is NYY Recaps.
Welcome to Yankee Stadium.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Going to start off with a pretty funny comment here. Parks and Young says, this lineup has more holes than a donut shop. Got that right. Welcome back, everybody. Long time no see. Once again, happy Father's Day if you missed the early show today. Yankees got 4 hits in Game 1, and they improved in Game 2. They got 5 hits. So they had 18 innings and could not rack up 10 hits. Absolutely pathetic.
Don't fail me again.
Look, one of the things that I always try and do is avoid sugarcoating the Yankees. Just because we're fans doesn't mean we shouldn't be honest with each other. And sometimes it's difficult because you want to be optimistic. But right now it's very hard to be optimistic about this lineup in general. Call an exorcist. Get an exorcist into the Bronx forthwith. This is getting ridiculous. This roster, as presently constructed, is terrible. DG says an effing joke. a juckin' folk. I like it. It reminds me a lot of those 2014, 2015, 2016 teams. You know, we miss Aaron Judge, we miss Harrison Bader, we miss Carlos Rodon, but those guys alone won't fix it. I mean, we got a lot of zeros in this lineup. And I don't know what the answer is. I suggested on Twitter that we just clean house. Not just Cashman, not just Boone and Dylan Lawson, but get rid of the scouting department while you're at it. Get rid of the medical staff. Get a new bat company. Repaint the clubhouse. Change the feng shui. Switch from Gatorade to Powerade. Change the grass seed. Play different music at the stadium during batting practice. Whatever you got to do. Switch from WB Mason to Office Depot if you got to. Fly United instead of Delta if you've got to. But this team's whole energy is crap right now. Just pure crap. We need Thanos to come in here and reduce this organization to its foundational molecules and let someone other than Brian Cashman or Hal Steinbrenner build it back. One of the more underrated Will Ferrell movies, in my opinion, is a very apt title for what I feel like we should do with this team. Everything must go. Everything must go. I sincerely believe there is something wrong inside that clubhouse or a foundational piece of philosophy. You know, I've mentioned this before. Fruit from the poisonous tree. I first heard it as a legal term, but I love it as an analogy for the Yankees. You get a poisonous tree, all the fruit you get from that tree is going to be poisonous. Somewhere within the organization, there's something wrong. In the words of Shakespeare, there is something rotten in Denmark. And I sincerely hope that I'm the only Yankees podcaster that quotes Shakespeare tonight. But in this series, we lost 15-5. Then we got rained out and had to sit with it for the entire day. And then we had 2 losses in a single day on a Sunday afternoon.
Emotional damage.
And we got another off day to sit with it tomorrow. And then we play Seattle, who is not half bad, and they've got some good pitching. And we're going to have to face Luis Castillo. Should have Harrison Bader back, but look, you never know with this team, and that alone is not going to fix it. It is not going to fix it. One positive is that Bowers looks pretty decent in the leadoff spot. He led off for the second time today. He might have some staying power there if he keeps getting on base. He walked tonight, and then Gleyber Torres followed up with a double to right field, and Bowers scored on a Rizzo ground out to give the Yankees the early lead.
From there on out, things just got worse.
Severino threw a scoreless first inning. Feel like that hasn't happened in a while, but don't worry, he gave it right back in the bottom of the second. Yankees did hit into some bad luck tonight. I'll give them that. Second inning, Oswaldo Cabrera hit a line drive, and it was his first line drive in what feels like forever, and it got snagged by Reyes, the shortstop, who had a phenomenal night on defense, by the way, and is hitting .290. How about that? Good little player. And then Volpe ripped one to third, but Devers made a great stop to take away a hit. And then a couple of hitters later, Anthony Rizzo launched one about 400 feet into the triangle in dead center, but Duran tracked it down, made a legitimately outstanding catch. Sometimes you just got to tip your cap, and that was a damn good catch. More sloppy play from the Yankees in the fourth inning. They gave up the lead. Donaldson walked and then got picked off to end the inning. The Yankees entered this game with a on-base percentage under 300, which is astonishingly bad for a team with a $200 $80 million payroll, whatever it is right now. So when you get on base, you can't get picked off. As a veteran, he needs to know that. But he hasn't been on first base in so long that I don't blame him.
He can't hit for nothing.
And then in the bottom half, Severino loaded the bases, and Higashioka was called for catcher's interference with the bases loaded and the number 8 hitter at the plate. And that gave the Red Sox a 2-1 lead, and that was it.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Lou Godbar says, ESPN showed a stat, Yankees on-base percentage is the lowest since 1968. Tough. Parks and Young says, this team is not worth 2.5 hours of everyone's day. Yanks owe us combat pay for having to watch this garbage. I don't blame you if you tune out for a while. I don't blame you at all. And that's my conspiracy theory as to why they're not telling us the timetable on Judge. Is anybody going to pay $1,000 to take their family to go see this garbage? I don't think so. I do not think so. You got to start voting with your feet. You got to turn off the Yes Network. You got to start affecting their sponsors. You know? Whatever sponsors you see on the Yes Network right now, you got to stop supporting them. If the Yankees start losing money, that's when things will change. And they'll probably try and cancel me for saying that, but that is absolutely true. We got to vote with our feet. Ronnie says, I'm probably being partly negative, but losing sweep is another slow step towards Cashman's dismissal. He'll take that. In the sixth inning, Gleyber Torres doubled off the wall to reach scoring position, but in accordance with the prophecy, he was stranded on second. And the Yankees just could not get anything going. They dropped Game 2, 4-1.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Frankie says, keep watching the recaps from Derek. 100%. Look, I'm going to watch every game, and I'm going to recap every game because that's what I do. And even when they lose, I treat this as an exercise to sort of vent and get the demons out. But we will let you guys handle most of the venting tonight. But first, I want to read a quick ad. Final ad from Game Time this month. Game Time is the #1 app for last-minute tickets to local events. It is seamless. You go and find something near you, whether it's baseball right now or concert, whatever comedy show, whatever you want, theater. It's a very quick process. You just click on the ticket. It'll give you a nice low price. You enter in the code NYY Recaps. You get $20 off. at the very least, just for me, as a personal favor to me, instead of watching highlights of this game later tonight, just take a second and download the app and just give it a look and see what events are in your area. I think you'll be surprised at the affordability of the tickets. So once again, use the code NYY Recaps for $20 off. I've used it. It works great on the Game Time app. Appreciate these guys as a loyal sponsor. Parkson says he's going to start watching a team that has good young players. Look, I don't blame you for watching other baseball because, you know, as a baseball fan, we want to see great baseball, right? We want to live baseball. But don't change your allegiance to the Yankees just yet. I mean, we don't want to be fair weather fans here. Come on. We're a better fan base than that. Val says Tampa actually lost 2 games in a row, and the Yankees could have made the tiniest bit of headway, but no.
Doesn't work that way.
Nope. Couldn't get it going. That requires hitting. Stone Cold says they re-signed Cashman. 4-year deal. He is not going anywhere. And I agree with you. James G says horrific team construction. Yanni Molo says boycott. Now you guys are starting to get the picture. You're starting to get the picture. You've got to vote with your wallet. You know, this team, this organization cares a lot about its finances and its rankings in, you know, everything that comes out. And they've got partners that they've got to satisfy. We start voting with our feet, not going to games, not turning on the games. Tune in the recap. I'll let you know what happened. I'll have, you know, fully detailed recap of what happened. But turn off the game. There's no point in watching this garbage. Lou Godbar says deja vu all over again. Dylan Poppins says he can see Boone getting the boot. They love Aaron Boone. I doubt they'll give him the boot. I don't think they're going to make any changes. I think they'll try and overpay for some, you know, clunky, broken down player at the trade deadline and pretend like it's Christmas and hype him up and say, oh, this guy's got great exit velocity. Come on. We all know what's happening. We've been watching this for years. This team doesn't change. Frankie says, watching this team is an experiment on the human body to see how much pain it can take. Speaking of that, there's a new season of Black Mirror out, so I've been rewatching Black Mirror. The best episode is this episode called it's called Black Museum, and there's a segment of that called Pain Addict. You have got to be a pain addict to watch this season. I'm just taking all the pain, baby. You got to be a pain addict. That was actually written by Penn Jillette, by the way, that episode. And he's one of my favorite podcasters. Yeah, the magician, too, Penn Jillette. It's Go Yanks says 80% of you haven't been to a game this year. Maybe 80% of the people in the chat. But we got a wide audience, buddy. We got 12 or 11 million views or something. I guarantee a lot of them have been to games this year. Gonna go ahead and give you a what?
Shut up, bitch!
Frankie says they will blame the injuries. Sounds like it. Sam G says they'll go after Cody Bellinger and call it a day. Seems like it. Seems like it. Frankie Baseball also says Salma Hayek is in the new season. Yeah, she's in episode 1. It's been a decent season. I'm 4 episodes in. We got 1 more to go. I think they've gotten progressively darker. I think episode 3 with Aaron Paul from Breaking Bad is my favorite so far. Bernie Madoff investing tips. Jeez. Says the roster right now feels like Brian Cashman threw darts at a board of 2019 MLB rosters and decided on the players that way. That's funny. And Damien says, bro, I've been to 2 games and I live in Tampa. Yeah, I mean, don't question these people's... every night, somebody's saying, hey, I was at the game tonight. I'm texting from the subway. I was at the game. People go to these games and then they turn on the podcast because they want to connect with other fans. That's what this whole thing is about. This whole endeavor of NYY Recaps. You know, a lot of these people are diehards that go to the games, that tune in every night. That's why you see the same people here every night. So don't insult my audience. Lori C says, sell, sell, sell.
Absolutely. Hey.
And then Dylan says, going after Bellinger would be such a Yankee move. I agree. They need a lot. You know, this is one of those years where I don't think they should try and get better at the deadline in terms of their chances this season. I think you need to move some contracts, get creative, figure out a way to unload some guys and clear some spots for the younger players to step in and get some ready-made major league experience. You know, 2017, Judge made adjustments based on what happened in 2016, right? So, you know, you get some guys up in August, maybe they struggle. Maybe you call up a 20-year-old Dominguez, right? And maybe he struggles for a couple of months. Well, then he applies what he's learned to his off-season training and hopefully becomes a better player. GG says, bring up Brett Gardner. Brett Gardner's history, my friend. We need a Simon and Garfunkel song. Where have you gone, oh Brett Gardner, oh? I don't think that works, though. William M. says, this is not a real Yankee team at all. I have to agree with you. This is very difficult to watch for those of us who've lived through a lot of great teams in the past. It feels like not only are the players on the field mailing it in a lot of the time, it feels like the front office is mailing it in. I cannot believe that we began this season with Aaron Hicks and Josh Donaldson. I was surprised they brought IKF back too, but less surprised that he was on the team because he could play so many positions. But Donaldson and Hicks being on the roster was a complete shock to me. I figured there was no way in hell they would be back. They were in my 5 Yankees who won't be back video last year. This year, I might do 10 Yankees who won't be back because they're going to have to change this whole thing completely. They're going to have to get at least a couple of outfielders, might need to get a third baseman. I don't know what they're going to do with Peraza. They're not playing him at third base in the minor leagues very much, so they obviously don't plan on him being the third baseman. DJ is washed up. Donaldson's out of contract. Doug called in the other day and said that they're probably going to sign Chapman. We got that voicemail. Let me pull that up.
Listen, I got a bad feeling. After the season, Josh Donaldson is off the books. He's a $25 million luxury tax hit. They'll have to give him a $6 million buyout. IKF comes off. That's $6 million. And Sevy comes off. That's another 12 and a quarter, according to the luxury tax. Again, this is AAV. So that's a total of $37.25 million. I've heard for years that the Yankees like Matt Chapman. You know, there was a time he was a third baseman. They talked about signing him and making him a shortstop in the off season, which is crazy. It's the off season. If you need a shortstop, go get a shortstop.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
Don't make crazy moves like that. But anyway, my concern is they're going to go out and get Chapman and give him Josh Donaldson money, like $25 million for, you know, he's 30 years old, 5 years, 6 years. And then after next year, when Juan Soto is a free agent, they're going to be like, oh, we made a competitive offer and, you know,
yep,
we took a look at everything that made sense for our team, but we just couldn't, you know, there's going to be a lot of hemming and hawing. And what it amounts to is, you know, once they give Chapman $25 million, they can't give Soto the $40 million, $45 million, or whatever it's going to be that it would take to sign him.
All right, wait, that's enough, Doug. I'm gonna cut you off a little bit there, but you know, you're absolutely right. Signing Chapman does feel like a Yankee move. We got another call here. Simon calls in all the time, so I want to play one of his voicemails too.
Hi, Derek. Simon Rosenthal calling from New Haven, Connecticut. Now you see why we got to give it a boot. No matter what he does, what move he makes, he still finds a way for this team to lose. I mean, we stranded Bowers. He had a double, and we can't even get him in. They're so fond of grounding out and popping up all the time. It's like watching a ping pong game. I mean, Dylan Lawson's an idiot. Well, we don't care about math. Well, you should care about math, Lawson. You're an idiot. This is what I want to put on your machine, Derek. We have got to get rid of Boone. Tell Hal Steinbrenner to have some man balls and fire Boone. Otherwise,
oh, Simon. Always fun when Simon calls. Reminds me, I don't know if you guys ever listened to those old Adam Sandler tapes. I think there's one called "They're All Gonna Laugh at You," and he has this skit where the excited Southerner goes to Wendy's. I'm gonna get a double quarter pounder. Just He's very excited, and I don't mean that as an insult. Just his general energy level reminds me of that guy. Simon definitely gets very excited over this stuff. Look, guys, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's been a tough season to watch so far, especially from an offensive standpoint. When Judge is in there, it seems like the whole team gets better, and when Judge is out, it seems like the whole team loses faith. I see Aaron Boone in the dugout fidgeting around, and he looks nervous. He looks uncomfortable, and look, I just feel like whatever's happening is from a management downwards. You know, I don't know where exactly in management. I don't know if it's Boone. I don't know if it's Cashman. I don't know if it's Fishman. I don't know if it's Howe. But something is poisoning the well of this entire organization.
Game over, man. Game over.
We're going to get out of here.
T-Dot says literally everybody on the team besides Judge, Cole, Glaber, and Rizzo should be gone. Joe Higashi remembers the 80s game. I don't remember him that well.
Most impressive.
And Pamela Davis says heads need to roll. Pamela Davis always with great taste. The Chris Calley says Derek should review The Flash instead of this game. I'll talk about The Flash. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody because I know it's only been out for a few days, but I really enjoyed it. I wanted to go see Michael Keaton more so than Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller's a bit of a head case, but I do find him to be entertaining, at least, as that character. It was one of those multiverse type of movies where they jump around, which means pretty much everything is fair game. It also makes it easier for writers to create jokes and irony and things like that. I thought the action sequences were fantastic. I thought it was cool to see General Zod back. I thought Supergirl was tremendous. I know it's not getting amazing reviews, but my friend and I, who are both DC fans, really enjoyed it. So check it out if that's your thing. Anyway, I'm going to go watch the rest of Black Mirror because it can't be any darker than watching the Yankees. I will see you guys on Tuesday.
Ball game over.
Most impressive.